looked at that video yesterday, and there's nothing wrong with it as far as it's written, it plays. The problem is like our system and the system that y'all use, it creates a delay when watching it, so it skips kind of almost like it's motion activated rather than watching it through and through. Is there a way you can just pick me out maybe some of the best still shot pictures you can and email those to me? Okay. It did. It just like I said, for some reason, I don't know if it's just compatibility with our systems or what, but it just shows, you know, it'll be like 22:09 seconds, and then it'll skip 45 seconds. You miss seconds in there, and that's where I missed the clear still shot images of our suspect. Right. Well, to the general public, if anything ever gets stolen, it's robbed. If your house gets broken into, it's been robbed. No, it's been burglarized. There's a difference. You know, the major difference. If you don't mind just shooting me some pics, that'll be fine. Right. Okay. It's a J Watts, WATTS, at collierville.tn.gov. Right, yes, sir. Just collierville.tn.gov. Yeah, they just changed all of our email addresses, so we got rid of the ci.collierville.tn.us. It's all now collierville.tn.gov. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir. You working on it? Oh.
Yeah, because your mindset's been good.
Okay.
Just in here.
Right.
Okay. All right. All right, give me your piece of paper.
Okay.
Be writing on this, this means this won't get handed in, you'll just read and that'll still be privileged, okay?
Okay.
It'll be the same thing, I just don't want a piece of paper go that way. Where do you want me to sit, over here?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
And then this,
Hey, I saw you out there too, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you, sir?
he just kind of started this with me yesterday, so we're just gonna stick with us
I'm on.
too.
Get this little privacy here, if you don't mind.
All right. Before we get started, so you said your name. Sorry about that.
No, man, with a name like Zuma, not as bad as his name,
I know, I was
though.
gonna
Yeah.
tell you right now.
What I have here that I'll give you, I'll read it to you first. It's just, this is a notification form, internal affairs. I altered it a little bit. Usually it's something I give to you straight away, but since you weren't available to me yesterday, I didn't have it, so I'm gonna read it out loud now, then I'm gonna let y'all read it.
Okay.
It's signed by the chief of police today. Now, just to let you know, we're recording, we're live, there's
Me
a
too.
camera in there, so I want everyone to be aware.
Okay.
The reason we're recording in here because it has better audio than our little visual recording. So, This document is to inform you on 6/3/2019, an administrative investigation in which you were named began as a result of an officer-involved shooting at 908 Valleywood Cove, Carterville, Tennessee 38017. Let it be known that this is an administrative investigation. It is not criminal. You are further advised that statements made during this investigation cannot be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding. You are therefore required to answer all questions truthfully regarding this investigation. Any refusal to do so may result in disciplinary action, to include discharge from the department by the authority of the Police Department General Order 9401B.7. And I'll let y'all read that. I read it from top to bottom, so
You can sign.
you can have that copy if you want.
Okay.
I made a copy.
Okay, now.
That's, yeah, that's just the.
Okay. Very good.
notification there.
And I guess, so this is Administrative Internal Affairs Investigation 19-02, administrative only. I've just read you the paperwork on it, so make sure you understand it. So you're represented here by your PBA provided attorney. With an H, sorry, okay. We're conducting the investigation. I guess the best way to get into this is just, can you tell me whatever you're prepared to tell me regarding the call?
Read that first.
Okay. All right. I am making this statement to the best of my recollection, and I reserve the right to amend it for purposes of clarification. Any inconsistencies between this statement and other officer statements, witness statements, or what may have been captured partially or completely by audio or video recordings should not be considered as being or attempting to be untruthful. It is well established fact that an officer's perceptions during critical incidents will differ from others and or what is captured on video or audio.
And read that.
Okay. On the morning of June 3rd, 2019, with the Carterville Police Department responded to a report of an armed party in the backyard of a residence. Upon my arrival, I observed already on the scene and a short distance away from the residence where there was a reported armed party. I grabbed my duty rifle from my patrol vehicle and began to approach the residence of the armed party. I observed officers to be a short distance behind me, and I instructed officers to go to the other side of the house in order to begin the process of setting a perimeter around the house. The house had a large pod container in the driveway near the garage, which I used as cover in an attempt to view the backyard from a safe distance. I observed two people in close proximity to each other in the backyard of the residence, but a short fence prevented me from having a full view of both individuals. I then walked to the other side of the home to get a better visual of the two individuals in the backyard of the residence. I arrived on the other side of the residence and began to approach a short fence when I observed a male subject armed with a handgun begin walking in the backyard in close proximity to the citizen. I yelled for the male subject to drop the weapon. The male subject refused to comply with my command to drop the weapon, and he turned and faced me with the handgun still in his hand, which was down by his side. Based upon the male subject's close proximity to the citizen in the backyard and being armed with a handgun, I was fearful for the safety of the citizen, the safety of the other officers on the scene, and my own safety. I fired one duty round from my duty rifle at the male subject, and I observed the male subject fall to the ground. I advised over the radio that a shot had been fired, and I, as well as the other officers on the scene, began to approach the male subject. We began to render medical aid immediately after verifying that the male subject was no longer in possession of the handgun, which was laying in the grass near the male subject.
I don't have any questions on these.
Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know what kind of questions you're prepared to answer. I mean,
Anything you have.
okay. Do you remember how many times you ordered him to drop that weapon? To the best of your knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge,
Do you remember anybody else yelling it?
To the
I
best
know
of-
that you're, I know
yeah,
there's a
to
lot
the best of
going
my
on.
knowledge, I do not
Okay.
at this time.
Do you remember who was right there with you?
To the best of my knowledge, I can't
Okay.
recall who was with me
Okay.
right behind me.
So when you approached on the side by the storage, you could see both of them in that backyard?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You remember, and they were pretty close to each other? Did you hear any yelling or screaming?
I can't recall if I heard any
Okay.
screaming.
Yeah.
No, I think the statement covered everything I
Yeah.
had, everything, the questions are answered, so.
Okay.
You have any questions for us?
Just because I've not had the benefit of dealing with Kyle before on a shooting, what is the process? Because I know the TBI process and how long that will be as it relates to the autopsy, the AG's recommendation regarding indictments, et cetera. I know how bad that
Right.
is, and I don't mind it saying that. I know how long that's gonna be. And I know the effect that that has on the officers many times as it
Sure.
relates to being returned to duty,
Absolutely.
full duty or enforcement status.
Mhm.
And I do not know what the Collierville Police Department's process is as it relates to from an administrative side. If it's determined that no administrative policies were violated, what is the process for the officer to be returned to duty?
My goal is to our goal. We're reviewing everything. I think we've culled everything, and we're just in the process of reviewing it. This was actually the last interview we had to do. We did 5 or 6 interviews yesterday of everyone that was considered a witness, and we've been watching Mike, listen to Mike footage and things of that nature. So I think we're pretty close to getting a result on wrapping up our administrative investigation, presenting it to the chief of police for review. Once he's reviewed that, if he is in agreement and feels there are no issues, I don't know what they're gonna do in terms of inviting you back to work or what be it. I will try to get an answer. I think they're probably still thinking about it. Our last officer involved shooting was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So, not trying to make light of the situation,
Well, I know.
but it's kind of a new thing for us,
Right.
but it's something that they are actively thinking about, I do know that.
Right.
If I'm permitted to get an answer and can give you an answer, I certainly will.
Right.
But, our goal is to get this done as fast as possible while being as thorough as possible,
Right.
out of respect to everyone involved. So,
I just know it's caused a lot of
You
harm.
can't give a definite
Sure.
answer to you as
I
far
know,
as the
but-
time
yeah, I
frame.
know.
But I just didn't know from a policy and procedure standpoint, because I know many times some departments wait until the AG is
Right.
done. And I've just seen that firsthand cause so much emotional damage to the officer.
right,
And so I just didn't know what y'all's policy was about, in a Germantown, for example, once they're cleared, in other words, administratively, regardless of how long TBI or the
Right.
AG,
Yeah, 'cause we know
they're
that
back
comes
out
out.
on the streets.
yes, and in other departments, they just,
That's right.
they don't,
They
yeah.
have a pistol range.
Yeah, we
forever.
understand, and I think that, everyone down the hall understands what it can do to somebody,
Right.
So we certainly don't want anyone to feel ostracized or anything, so
Yeah.
our goal is to get our stuff done as fast as possible so they can make a decision as fast as possible.
And you may not be able to answer this question, and I'm not offended if you say, no, I can't answer that question. Does the department know of any a video recording there of any of the neighbors' homes or the suspect's home that existed at the time of the shooting?
I'll just tell you what happened. I don't have anything to hide. We got a call today from somebody that said that, they have someone that works with them that has a security camera that may have picked up sounds. There's no camera trained on someone else's backyard.
We didn't see any cameras in the vicinity that would have covered that area or that backyard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we are going to follow that lead up, contact that person and see if we can glean anything from that.
Sure.
It should mirror what was on the mic,
Yeah,
Right.
because, I don't think you can get any better than that.
That's right.
no, I mean, his mic was on the whole time,
It's crystal clear,
Right.
so.
as well as some of the, at least one other.
And I will tell you, from the witness interviews, there's no conflicting stories or anything.
Sure.
Everything seems to play out.
It's very unfortunate
It's
for everybody
extremely
involved.
Agreed.
unfortunate, and it's
Agreed.
for everybody.
We understand that, so, yeah.
I mean, it's,
No, this is top play for us. This is what we're putting all our energy into, so put in the hours to get it done fast and professionally.
Very good.
We understand the importance for you and them and everyone.
Right.
So,
Super.
as far as I'm concerned, we're done. I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for working us in your schedule.
No, you did us the favor, so.
Yeah,
Good meeting you.
thanks. Good meeting you too.
Good meeting you.
You too, sir. I'll walk you out.
Out of the way here. All this small, you know, this is a best we got.
Look, if a fight ever breaks out in there, you'll be able to get your hands on it.
Yeah, it won't be too difficult.